Salvete discipuli. Let's go through 55b lines 1 through 5 together. We are starting with two adverbs, hinc and yam. So from here, now, and then we have a list of three things, which is called the trident. So you'll see that over here I've labeled it as a trident, and I've drawn a little triangle. That'll be my symbol for this rhetorical device in the future. So from here, now, a detestable, execrandum, and lamentable civil war, civile bellum. So the three things are civil, detestable, and lamentable, right? Detestable meaning like able to be hated, right? And lamentable being like able to be cried about or mourned over. So from here now, a detestable and lamentable civil war, secessit, followed, in the perfect tense, by means of which, beyond disasters, praeter calamitates, which happen in battles, quae in proeliis accederunt, even the fortune of the Roman people was changed. So he's saying here that beyond the normal tragic stuff that happens in battles in proeliis, the actual fortune of the Roman people was changed by this civil war. And we'll talk a little bit more about why Eutropius thinks that in class. Alright, so enim, and this is what's called a post-positive, that's why I've labeled it that. Enim is a conjunction, it means for, but it comes after what we would expect. So we get, the first word is Caesar, which is important, right? Romans put words at the beginning or the ends of sentences that were important. So Caesar here is important. Caesar is important to this detestable and lamentable civil war. So he comes first, but right after him is enim, which we would actually have expected to come first, which means for. So for Caesar, Redianes returning as a victor from Gaul, began, coipit, to demand, poscere, another consulship, alterum consultatum. And in such a way that, because this is a result clause, right, he began to demand it in such a way that it was offered to him without any doubt or without any hesitation. He knew there would be a lot of pushback against this, so he was pretty forceful in his demanding. So there was opposition, or it was opposed by Marcellus the consul, by Bibulus, by Pompey, by Cato. And now we have Iussus, which, whoops, try not to move all of my schema. Iussus, which is, I start over here because it's what's called an ellipsis when an entire word is missing. Here the word that's often missing from Latin is est, right, the verb to be. So here we have Iussus est, and he was ordered, understood Caesar, to return to the city, demissis exercitibus, an ablative absolute, with his troops, with his army, having been sent away. He couldn't, it was against the law for anyone to bring troops into the city walls of Rome, into the Pomerium. It was considered an attack on Rome. So he was supposed to send his troops away first, demissis exercitibus, and then return to Rome, return to the city. All right. I've written a word over here you might not recognize, asyndeton. Asyndeton is when you have a list of things without any connecting words or conjunctions. So that's referring to the a Marcello consule, a Bibulo, a Pompeo, a Catone. We have there was opposition by Marcellus the consul. It should be and by Bibulus, and by Pompey, and by Cato. But it's not. It's just a list. By Marcellus the consul, by Bibulus, by Pompey, by Cato. And so that's what's called asyndeton. And we'll talk more about those kinds of figures of speech as we get into Latin, especially as we get into poetry. All right. So one more time, the whole thing. From here now, a detestable and lamentable civil war followed. by means of which, beyond disasters which happen in battles, even the fortune of the Roman people has been changed. For Caesar, returning as a victor from Gaul, began to demand another consulship, and in such a way that it was offered to him without any doubt, or without any hesitation. There was opposition from Marcellus the consul, from Bibulus, from Pompey, from Cato, and Caesar was ordered to return to Rome with his army having been sent away. And that's it. All right. Hopefully this cleared up the translation for you. Please bring any questions and all questions that you have to class tomorrow. Walete.